Hello, Namaskar viewers. I am Sai CPA welcoming you to the Tax Time Show. This is the show where you get the latest information when it comes to taxes, personal taxes, corporate taxes, or any taxes that you need to know, the matters related to any taxes that you need to know. And of course, any stimulus package information, what's going on in the Department of Treasury or Internal Revenue Service, what are they doing and how they are going to be helping out Americans during this pandemic. All this information is obviously made to you in this Tax Time Show, courtesy of Mr. Ajay Kumar, CPA and MBA with Sai CPA services right here in New Jersey. Once again, he's with us and he's all set to give out information once again in this show, in this episode. Ajay ji, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Sanjeev ji.
All right, good to have you. As you know, stimulus packages obviously given out and everything else. One of the most requested things among our viewers for this show, Tax Time, is PPP loan.
Absolutely.
From day one, they wanted to know details about the loan,
Absolutely.
which you gave out a lot of details, and then you also continue to give out all the updates and changes regarding the PPP, and there had been so many of them.
Absolutely.
Now here we are at a point where loan forgiveness. There is something called loan forgiveness, and obviously people want to know more information on PPP loan forgiveness, that how my loan can be forgiven.
Absolutely.
And what do I need to do of it. And I understand there have been some changes in that matter. So please take it from here and start updating us regarding PPP loan forgiveness in this episode.
It's my pleasure. So we have been getting a lot of calls, a lot of emails from our viewers asking about the details on the PPP loan forgiveness. Please understand, Sanjeev ji, PPP to start with was a loan.
Yes.
It's a liability
Exactly.
that you are expected to pay back unless you can justify with qualified expenses that you used this money that government gave you for certain purpose that government wants you to use it for. If you use it for qualified expenses, then this money doesn't have to be returned. So today, the hottest topic is, how do I maximize my PPP loan forgiveness? What can I do now, today? And we have a lot of anxious clients. And please understand, this PPP loan was given to 5 million businesses, not 1,000, not 10,000, not 100,000. Almost 5 million businesses received PPP loan. Now, this is sort of a windfall. People were not expecting. They haven't really seen in their lifetime government distributing trillions of dollars for free.
Yes.
Now they're all concerned. Do they have to pay this money back? And that's where the topic comes, PPP loan forgiveness. What's it's all about? What can they do now? When should they apply for the PPP loan forgiveness? So this episode is all about understanding, planning, and creating the necessary documents to maximize the PPP loan forgiveness.
Before you start giving out information on loan forgiveness program, I want you to know one thing on
Please.
behalf of viewers. I just want you to know one thing. Nobody likes to pay back the loan.
Absolutely, me neither.
Exactly. So you take it from there, that what are the options for somebody out there not paying back that PPP loan?
So this PPP loan program has gone through several changes. Initially, the money was supposed to be used for 8 weeks. Then under the PPP Flexibility Act, this was increased to 24 weeks. Initially, in the beginning, you were supposed to use mandated 75% for the payroll only. Then it was relaxed in the PPP Flexibility Act. Now you can use only 60%, but you do have to use up to 60% of this money for the payroll only. The other 40%, up to 40%, a maximum of 40%, can be used towards mortgage interest, not principal, rent, utility, travel, and several other expenses. So this is all about planning. You need to justify. And what do you need? It's just not the invoice. Oh, I have an invoice for the vendor. That doesn't count. Along with the expense, proof of expense, I need the proof of payment as well. Show me that the check was paid. What are the acceptable form? You could show it from the bank statement that the check was paid, this amount was paid, you can clearly circle it. You can show a copy of the cancelled check. You can show the credit card payment or credit card statement, the credit card receipt. At the end of the day, the onus, the responsibility remains on you to justify that the expense was real and the expense was paid. So proof of expense and proof of payment is needed for the PPP loan forgiveness.
Okay. Now the question is, when is the deadline for the forgiveness to apply, and when someone should apply for that forgiveness?
That's a great question, Sanjeevji. So initially, under the original act, when we were talking about 8 weeks to use this funding, the deadline was given out as October 31st. Now, after just a couple of weeks ago, under the PPP Flexibility Act, it was changed to 6 months. So a lot of people who received the money in June, July, they have till December 31st to use this money.
Okay.
So October 31st deadline doesn't make sense for them. So if you receive the money before June 5th, and that's the date when the PPP Flexibility Act came, if you receive the money before June 5th, you have the option, you have the right to choose either the 8-week period or the 24-week period. But a lot of small businesses received the money after June 5th. So for them, applying on before October 31st, when they have till December to use this money, doesn't make sense. So more than likely, this October 31st deadline will be extended. But so far, the deadline to apply for the PPP loan forgiveness is October 31st.
Okay. Now, to apply for PPP loan forgiveness, so far the details are good. What criteria do they use to accept that loan application that yes, this business's loan is forgiven?
Oh, that's a great question. So what we are getting is, how do you apply? Where do you apply? And what's the process around
Correct.
it, right?
Yes.
So first thing first, you apply for the PPP loan forgiveness at the same place where you got the PPP loan forgiveness. Please remember, PPP loan did not come through SBA directly. PPP loans were distributed through the banks, through the fintech company like Cabbage, PayPal, Intuit. A lot of financial technology companies got involved. Almost all the banks, bigger banks, were distributing this PPP funding. So you need to go through the same bank with a similar process. If you recall, for the PPP loan, you go to the bank website, submit an application with some attestation. It's going to be very, very similar process. That process is not out yet because the SBA has not finalized the guidelines for the PPP loan forgiveness. So a lot of banks, a lot of fintech companies are still trying to work out a portal, PPP loan forgiveness portal. And a lot of companies don't have that portal yet. So we are still waiting on details.
Okay, but it will come out.
I'm sure it has to be an automatic online process. Otherwise, it's not practically possible to process 5 million
businesses, yes.
PPP loan forgiveness application.
That's going to be crazy. Anyway, so this is the first part of the PPP loan forgiveness information that Mr. Ajay Kumar has given in this segment. We're going to take a short break, and when we come back, there's a lot more coming your way regarding this PPP loan forgiveness in today's Tax Time episode, so please don't go anywhere.